between herO and True.
Sung K is my best friend, and he asked all the questions we wanted asked. We told him what we were curious about, and only asked one question. Maybe next time I'll ask two. You got to ask one as well.
Yeah, that was interesting. I didn't think I was going to get a chance, but
yep.
Definitely a question I wanted to know. Interesting that he didn't know who Neeb was, and then yesterday when he saw him, he's like, wow, this guy's really good.
Yeah, he said he doesn't watch foreign tournaments. By the way, True picks Apotheosis. How desperate is he getting in this series? I mean, like, he got...
The real questions here.
He got really outplayed in the previous set by TY. Now he's playing a different matchup. I feel like herO got a little bit duped by Pet in that best of 3. But we'll see if True is going to do something similar. I think he's going to try to play a little bit more standard, but he must have some sort of plan on Apotheosis. This is a map we see very rarely in competitive play in Korea, so he may simply be trying to throw herO off. But let's not forget, in the circuit he played in, Apotheosis was a more common map.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised, actually, that herO bans Dasan Station instead of Apotheosis. Getting that gold base very early for the Zerg player, you can put on an immense amount of pressure. It's very, very strong. So we'll see how that goes in game number 2. But first, guys, we're going to jump into map number 1, Frozen Temple for herO versus True.
얼어붙은 사원으로 떠납니다.
Welcome to map number 1 here for this BVZ. Down in the bottom right, in the purple, the Zerg player, it is True.
His opponent to the top left in green, one of the favorites to get out of this group, it is herO. Will be drone scouted, unless this is going to be a hatch block. Totally possible, though he did, just as I say that, start his hatch at his natural. Let's see what Trevor is showing. He could just block the Nexus with this, and then eventually he could potentially make a hatchery. I don't think he will. I think he's just going to come in here and try to steal a gas at best. Just walks away. He's got enough money here to make a hatch. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. And there you have it. Down goes the hatch, and this is going to force herO to play a different type of game here in our first set.
Yeah, definitely not what he wanted to do here, and this is really annoying. You got to make a Zealot, you take your second gas, you make your Cybernetics core early. It's just, it really throws a wrench into your build, and True already starting off in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah,
see if he keeps the hatch.
Protoss can't just make a third base at the third base location like a Zerg can. It doesn't work because it's too far away from your main. Your units are less mobile, and you won't be able to hold that very easily. And it will be very cost inefficient to do so. So you have to tech up instead and deal with this. This could just be an Evo cancel. We'll see what he decides to do with this. If he finishes it, we'll see something really unique here, which is pretty rare. Probe's coming off the line. He may just simply commit to the hatchery, but I think he's going to Evo cancel. Look how much damage this has taken already.
Yeah, we'll see if he can get that down or if it gets blocked here by herO.
With this many probes, it might be impossible to get that down. Let's see how quick he can do it. This is a pretty next level technique. You got to press BV real fast. We're about to find out if he's going to do it. Garfield just finish it and spread the creep. I guess he's going to do that. Okay, there's the Evo cancel. That was lightning quick.
That was so sick. And it's not going to buy all that much more time, but just a little bit of time. And now he even blocks with the drone. This is about as cheeky as you can get in this game.
Yeah. All right, Nexus comes up. Stargate goes down. You can't explain it. In fact, it's very, very basic. We're going to see it probably a Oracle into a Phoenix tech here from herO, very similar to what he's shown us already in his previous set against Pet. Obviously, the first game he went double Stargate because he was that ahead after holding off the all-in. Things got a little bit different, though, in game 2. And now we're just going to watch a little bit of pressure here, a lot of scouting. And, you know, he's trying to force links to be made, larvae to be spent on that instead of drones, while also killing drones. Spore cancels here by True.
3 in a row.
That's pretty impressive right there, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's going to cost him some money and some mining time to do that.
Oh,
wow,
and he shades out.
Pretty slick right there.
He didn't lose a single drone. 0. Or, well, he's lost 2 units.
He lost 1 drone. And, I mean,
1
Rogue
laying as well.
Yeah, Rogue could have, you know,
No,
really...
I think he lost 0 drones.
Yeah,
that Adept only
right.
has 1 kill.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I think, you know, this is the kind of play that if Rogue had done a little bit more of that shenaniganry yesterday with the spore cancels that quickly, may have taken a little bit less damage. Now he's going to just commit to this again.
Is crazy.
These cancels are
How many cancels is he going to get in a row?
2 drones in total, and the Oracle almost died.
Yeah. And we do have a second Oracle actually coming up here. We'll see if he commits to Phoenixes or if he transitions perhaps into Twilight Tech with the... Oh, there you go. Twilight Tech coming up. He is going to make a Phoenix as well.
The surprise second Oracle, if he doesn't make a Spore, could kill a Queen, although he brings a second Queen over here.
I would love if he just joins up. Okay, this is actually scouted. I would like to see him join up and then go where there's not a Spore and try to kill as many drones as possible.
I think the only place where that's the case is the natural, which is the hardest place to get to, unfortunately. That Zealot is like, I'm not supposed to be in this game.
Why was I born? Why do I exist?
I'm not equipped to do this matchup. Wow, he's just going to target down Queens with these Adepts. It looks like True is not ready for this. He's a bit caught off guard. The Adepts will shade. 2 Queens die, which means no anti-air at that third base because he did neglect to make real Spore crawlers. He only made canceled ones. And now he's going to have to make a few more of those.
How many? There's been about like 7?
I mean, you think about it, when you lose, I think you lose 13 minerals to cancel those every time. But it's 13 is less than 50. If you lose the drones, you have to remake the entire drone, and you also lose a larva. So it's definitely worth it. But he is losing some money. Now, this is a lot of links. He could overwhelm these Adepts. It wouldn't be cost efficient. But the key here is he's just trying to deny this base from being created, period. And here come the Oracles back home. That's the second power of this Oracle. It's great at attacking, but also then very useful on the defense of a third base. That's why this build is so popular.
And Drew is committing to 14 more lings here. He has that third base. It's not fully saturated, so it looks like he wants to... Oh, wow, that's a lot of lings. I mean, he's going up against so many Oracles here. The double Oracle and just the situation over here. He's going to bring all the Queens to try to just go for one big attack. Speedling Queen.
And, I mean, this is obviously a very powerful attack. He shades in. I think he was not looking here. Attacks into the Queens, gets surrounded. And now, suddenly, True could absolutely take this game. And, in fact, is definitely going to be able to deny the third base. herO just not paying attention and misses 1 cancel. We'll lose an Oracle as well. Oh, just not.
Man.
But if any Queens spawn, those Oracles are dead meat. Flaves are about to finish, but he has 3 Adepts. There's the cancel. And this is going to be more than a third base attack here. If he commits to the natural, he may just simply be able to break it. A few pylons going down.
12 Queens. He's making 2 more. It seems like some of them are going home because he knows he can't break the natural really with this attack. He denies the third base, and that's really all he wanted to do.
Yeah, he's going to send some Queens home. Not all Queens will be able to get in range to attack, mind you, off creep like this. Oh, 6 snipe.
I don't know what to say. I mean, herO really just did not show up to play today. Like the matches against Pet was really just creative, right? He had cool builds, but you know, even just the play in those games was lackluster. And tonight, you know, shading into the attack. Of course, he didn't expect it, but I mean, it doesn't seem like the herO that we saw in Pro League being the most winning player.
Sure.
You know?
I mean, this is I mean, to put it at its simplest, it's a mechanical error that he made there. A micro mistake, did not press the escape key to cancel his shades, and that's all she wrote. Just wasn't looking. He was looking at something else. He was making, you know, it was another structure, removing his chrono boost to a different somewhere else. Oh, he does have this Dark Shrine, taking a page out of Neve's book here. We'll see if he can target down that Spore, or if he's just going to split.
Oh, there's no detection here.
Okay, you know, this counterattack will do a lot of damage, but since there's those Oracles over there, he decides actually to come back. This base will go down for sure. And these Queens should make quick work of these Adepts, unfortunately. But the third base will go up back at home. And in fact, these teleports here, getting into the main base, this hatch goes down. And what a back and forth wonky game we are watching here, Valdez.
I mean, this is eventually going to be cleaned up, but losing that third base, very critical here. He does start that fourth base now. It is almost complete. Being morphed into Archons, he picks them both up and saves them.
Very impressive control here. Oh, one Archon low on health even. You can see it on that Warp Prism slot. It's damaged, which is pretty rare to see an Archon that's no shields but damaged. Saves both of them here again. He has to drop out the one with shields in order to get that value, because the one without will die instantly. It's a lot of money spent.
Look at all these units that are blocked by that one Zealot. You don't normally have a Zealot in this game, you know?
Yeah, he hold positioned it. That's his Heart of the Swarm Brain. And some players have the problem they forget to put their Zealot on hold position. Some players have the problem they forget to get their Zealot off hold position. StarCraft is hard, man. Mistakes are made. But I feel like both players have made some critical errors in this game, which leads us to, I guess, around a pretty even game here. herO holds a third base, kills the third of True, or excuse me, True. And the fourth base goes up, you know, but he just needs to tech up now. He's got a mostly Ling army. Finally clears up that Oracle. This attack is very terrifying, and he needs to get into position to defend this. The Archons are the scariest part, plus the force
fields. He only
fields.
has Lings and Queens. He's morphing 18 Banelings, but the attack is already commencing.
He has a lot of transfuse energy, so he needs to make sure he utilizes it very, very well here. Here come these Lings. The Bane's not done yet. He has to fight without them. But with so much transfuse energy, these Queens are doing good work. One Archon goes down already. The second one getting low.
The Warp Prism goes down. And the Adept Shade away, leaving the Sentries and the Immortal to themselves.
Oh man, so many Banes in here. This is what True is famous for. And he will just wipe these Adepts out. And the next thing you know, there are going to be lurkers here on the field shortly. With all these kills, he could counterattack with relative ease. In fact, had he, maybe had a few overlords in position or a creep highway or something, he could actually possibly just attack with those queens. Because he doesn't, it's not a good idea here. But he's on 4 bases now, and there's nothing herO can do to pressure him at this point in time. In fact, this base, if he scouted it, it would easily crush it. In fact, he's heading over that direction now. I think there's an overlord on top of that Nexus. Yes, there is. I see it on the minimap. He's just going to go over there and kill this base. One pylon is not enough, if you were wondering.
Yeah, in case you've never seen this game before, there you go. He's going to surround both pylons and then go for the base. And that is easily going to have to be canceled. Can run away, but he's like, wait, why should I run away? And then he sees the rest of the units at the top of the ramp and then does run away.
If those Archons were a little bit further forward, he could have grabbed one, potentially. He is trying to transition into building that Immortal count to deal with the Lurkers. The Lurker Den isn't completely fully morphed at this point in time, but it's almost done. He hasn't even made a single Hydra yet. He's just spending off his larva on controlling the economy with Lings. In fact, he's going to go for a follow-up attack here. The Archon's not in position. They will surround and kill this Nexus again. It's so new. Does not have a lot of hit points. And, he just runs away. With what, maybe 10 Lings died there?
Yeah.
Optimistically.
Either he needs to keep that army there to defend, or he needs to have something to scout the Lings coming in, like an observer, but he can't. He needs to make Immortals at this point in time. Oh,
no storm for you. And he's just going to camp this. He needs to feedback those. It's a weird thing to even say. I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth, but I think that's actually what he needs to do that.
Please. There are children watching.
And I do feel like, when I look at this, I think what you're saying is absolutely correct. He needs to have his army on top of this. His army is large enough to fight these Lings, and so therefore it should be at the Nexus. Okay, he's going to use that Phoenix from earlier, but still this storm is heavily delayed. Meanwhile, we do have one Lurker on the map, and he's actually committing to Mutas instead while taking that Storm away. He can send another Overseer away, and he is! Look at the minimap! He's stopping this again. He shuts this down, and he stops Storm once again. It looks like actually maybe just barely died before he can get Corruption off, but I saw on the minimap he was going for that. And there's 1 Phoenix and 3 Archons. That is the anti-air. And the Archons obviously can be killed by the Mutas if they're magic boxed.
Yeah, or even killed by the supporting Lings that are coming in.
Yep.
Coming in and sniping some pylons before they do get up here.
Storm is not ready, and he doesn't have any High Templar in position, even if it were. Okay, they're coming over now. And this actually ends up being kind of an ill-fated attack from True. I think he could have gotten more done here, but he was a little bit hesitant. Now will back away. He's massing Mutas still, though, and here's that Ling support you were talking about. Going to pick off an Archon. That's so much money. He's going up to 27 Mutalists. There are Storms about to be on the map here, but he should be able to dodge them. He's a pro gamer after all. And look, immediately dodges that. Going over here for this attack. There's such an overwhelming amount of units here that herO is really struggling to hold on to his economy. That 4th base has been done for a little while, but there's no probes there until just now, mining from it. Whereas True has a 5th base with full gas saturation.
very true. I mean, there's 26 mutas out on the map now. There's a large number of stalkers, but that's not what you're going to want against this number of lanes. See, the Storm, pretty good.
He needs more than just that one, though. Here comes some Phoenixes, but not the best micro. One of them goes down already. No lurkers over here, just a few Hydras. Not entirely sure what the story about that was, but again, this is the big story. He's going to try to kill this Stargate to stop Phoenix production. He's successful, and herO is in deep trouble. This army is immobile. These Archons cannot get underneath the Mutalisk. The structures are working against him. Kills all of the Phoenixes, and now these Mutas have free reign. Even going to kill the Mothership Core, trying to target down those Templar. Good storms here, but again, these Mutas have a passive that allows them to regen very quickly. And I think this might be the beginning of the end here for herO.
It looks like it. He's just taken way too much damage and no real answer to all of these mutas. And man, the Mutt numbers, they're getting up there. We're going up to like 35 now, and I don't care how many Archons you have, unless he makes a big micro mistake, it's going to be very hard to kill this number of mutas.
All True really needs to do is make some spines, and even without spines, he may simply have too much.
You can just counterattack. You can just base trade. That's really the crazy thing about when you go this many mutas, right? You have total map control, and the Protoss army is slower. He can have blink. He can, you know.
Creep allows him the vision to know if he's committing to the attack or not as well, because he's got such good creep spread through the middle of the map, so he knows if he's going to turn around, so he knows where his mutas need to be at all times. He kills a few more Stalkers here. Every Stalker counts. He has less than half the Stalker count of the mutas.
He might be able to 4-shot a Nexus at this point. We're getting to that point, and he's very confident with these mutas too. He's always ready to just turn around on a moment's notice. Archon's definitely scary.
Yeah, you can see that one Archon killed like 4 mutas. That's a special kind of pylon right there, powering all those structures.
What do they call that one? Like the lone wolf pylon? I think it's something like that.
Might be the Thanius pylon. I'm not entirely sure.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it was named after a famous caster.
Yeah, who lost some Protoss. Was a Protoss at 4 AM. I don't really know, but this counterattack is more effective than it should be, but I don't think it's really going to matter at this point in time. If you look at the supplies, and if you can do basic 7th grade arithmetic and know that one bigger number is bigger than the other.
I don't know, man. Some casters can't. I know I've had trouble before. Gets the storm off, but it just doesn't matter. GG.
I was about to say he has 100 army supply larger. True. Takes down herO in game number 1, and we could have that ZVZ. I think a lot of people are hoping for if he just takes one more game.
And you know what? Before these matches started, we were doing the Korean interview thing. They asked me what I thought about today, and I said it's obvious that TY and herO are getting out of this group, and herO, he's having a rough day. He's not out of it yet, but he does have to win 2 in a row against a very competent player in True, and then he has to go to that final match.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny that basically everyone except Kanata, and I don't even know if Kanata really feels this way. Everyone said, like, basically, yes, it's obvious. I mean, you were the one who really said that, but herO and TY the favorites, and herO might get out of this group in last place.
Yeah, not what we expect. But we're going to be jumping into Apotheosis now for map number 2, and this is True's map choice. So we'll see how he's able to do on this map, and if he can close it out 2-0 against one of our most prolific Protosses here. Let's jump into game number 2 now between herO and True.